And we're live. Hey, welcome back to Mind the Mic podcast. Let me move over a little bit so I can be in the middle of the screen like the brother. I think it's episode 53, but shout out to my brother over here, Vassago, with
Thanks.
the bro in the
Uh,
building. Well, we got a bit of a DJ, eh? Bit of a DJ by night and a TikTok on other nights.
yeah,
Or are you TikToking every night?
I pretty much TikTok every night. Sometimes I don't do it on the weekends, but pretty much every night, bro. It's just
Yeah.
it's a process, hey.
Yeah, so how does it go to 12 million plus streams? That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Eh? Well,
yeah.
sounds cool
So,
anyway.
so the fun thing is, I signed two songs. TikTok has a record label, which most
Yeah.
people don't know. It's called Sound On. Now,
Oh, okay.
the songs I signed to them, I made them 7 years ago. So when I got 12
Oh,
million plays on that song, I didn't think like it was going to blow up the way it did. So, um, like I said, I made it 7 years ago, and then I just signed it to TikTok last year, and I'm just like, you know what, we'll give it a go. We'll see how it goes on TikTok, and
yeah.
it blew up. Like I said, over 20,000 videos have been made with it, and it's got over 12 million plays all up through all of TikTok. So it's pretty big.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, brother. Huh? And who knows, might not even be your biggest one. Let's see how time goes
Yeah,
and
well, like
what
look,
might happen.
we'll see how this year goes. But like I said, to think I made the song 7 years ago and for it to be relevant and pop off now is pretty crazy.
Hey, maybe it's a timeless classic, brother. You know, maybe in 70 years from now, somebody might be like, "Bah, this is a banger. What is this new song?" Hey,
Well, look, it's a catchy. It's got catchy lyrics. I think that's what was good about the when became a TikTok sound. They had the catchy lyrics for people to make videos with it, and dance
yeah,
trends, whatever else people do make on TikTok. You know what I mean?
yeah, me, my brother. So anyway, let's go back to a young Vassago. Tell us about yourself. Were you born in all of that stuff? Tell us about
Yeah,
the
no worries,
Vassago.
man. So, I was born in Melbourne. I've always lived in Melbourne. Grew up in the northern suburbs here. I started DJing. Like the reason I started DJing was I saw one of my friends, and his name was Nate, and I'm like, oh, it looks so cool. I'm like, I want to learn how to do that. So me being me, like I asked mum, like, mum, look, I want to be a DJ, as
Yeah.
you do. And, so I started when I was 15, just on like doing laptop stuff, like crap stuff, like virtual DJ stuff like that, getting an idea of things. And then I got my first ever decks, which were these really crap things called the M decks twos. They were the horrible, like
Oh,
the
true.
worst thing.
No good.
Yeah, like they were
No good.
terrible. Like you couldn't like press play properly without stuffing up and stuff like that. And I
Oh, true.
learned on those. Yeah, I learned on those for a little bit, and then my mum got me CDJ 800s when I was 16,
Mhm.
which are like CDs. Back in the days, we had to use CDs. As now it's all USB and pretty easy to learn. But I learned on
Yeah.
those things, and the person that I aspired from, Nate, who actually like got me into DJing, is the one who taught me how to produce music and um, how to actually DJ, because I was a pretty crap DJ when I first started. So
I mean, hey, understandable, brother. Like, there's obviously an art to it, and you put in
but
your
yeah, so
10,000 hours plus. Hey,
yeah, well, yeah. So I've been DJing. This is my, I think it's my 16th year now. So
16 years. Wow.
I think, yeah, 15 or 16, something like that. I started when I was 15. I turned
Yeah.
29
So,
on Friday.
when
So
did you start doing events, brother? This Friday. Yeah, that's it. This episode will be out on Wednesday. So yeah, this Friday, if you're watching it when it comes out, the brother's big birthday. He's doing a. What are you up to for your birthday anyway? Before
I,
we.
I'm DJing at someone else's party on my birthday, believe it or not.
Hey, get that paper, brother. Get that
Yeah,
paper. Can't hate on that, man.
I'm DJing somebody else's birthday. TikTok's actually throwing me a birthday on the event on Thursday. They're
Yeah.
actually throwing me an event on Thursday through TikTok, which is in like one of the banners, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
Um,
cool.
but yeah, so when I started like DJing, getting events, so I started doing house parties when I was 16.
Mm,
And I was in part like I was one of the head hosts in running an underage back then called Zoo Underage, and Zoo Underage, like back then there was no market really for like underages and stuff like that, so there wasn't many. There was probably like one or two around. So Zoo
yeah.
was one of the biggest around at that time, and that's where I started DJing there. And then I played my first club gig called, I think it was called Jet Black, which was a place in Chapel Street, and
Yeah.
I used to DJ R&B when I first started. So
Oh, true. Oh, I
yeah,
didn't even know that. Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So that's what I grew up DJing R&B like when I was younger, and then
Did you grow up to R&B and stuff? Was that why, or?
yeah, like I grew up to R&B, but I wasn't really a huge fan of DJing it. I found more of a passion like DJing like back then, that underground Melbourne kind of music and stuff like that.
Like, what's some examples of some, like, have you got any examples of like the music that you're
Examples of
talking?
like
Yeah,
like Colour stuff, orchestrated, like Joel Fletcher back then, Will
oh
Sparks,
yeah, Joel Fletcher, yeah.
all that kind of older stuff. Like, and that was like, it was like back then it was like a dirty Dutch kind of sound, and it was like and that was getting into it, and like that's what I started playing, when I was younger, and getting real into it when I was doing underages, and then like I said, when I turned 18, I DJ'd Jet Black, my first over 18s gig, and then I was DJing a DJ that. Levels, when I was at the original Levels, which is a pretty iconic venue. I played there when it was 139 Burke Street, the original one. So I played there, and that was like a real big moment because I used to go there every single weekend, in and out. Used to just drink heaps and just go. It was super fun.
Yeah.
And then I slowly progressed. But when I first started, I wasn't DJ, like I wasn't called Vassago, so I was myself. I was just Jai Wilkie.
Okay.
As a DJ, so I was just
where does Vassago come from?
So Vassago used to be, when it first started, we started it, I think it was 7 years ago as well, when I made that song with my DJ partner.
Yeah.
It started 7 years ago. It was a person from America. He came, and I met him at one of the events we're playing at Deluxe Nightclub, and we're like, oh, we're real vibe together. I'm like, you know what, we should make a track together. He's like, yeah, no worries. And then we're like, you know what, this was a good track we made. Why not? Let's do a duo. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. And then we did a duo, and his name was Rob. So we were Vassago was a DJ duo for a few years, and then his visa expired in in Melbourne, so he had to go back to America.
Oh, true. Okay.
Yeah, and he couldn't extend it any longer because he'd done I think you can only do like 2 years or something like that on an American visa. I'm not too sure.
How it works. Yeah. Unless you get like sponsored or something, I think.
Yeah, unless you get sponsored, and it's pretty expensive to get sponsored. So we did that, and then he moved over, and he did he did his own DJ brand called Kiba, and then I just kept the Vassago name, and just started doing solo gigs.
Yeah, but like, is there any like what does Vassago mean? Like, or did you create a new meaning for Vassago?
I looked up like cool names on like Google, like just like I'm like demon names. I'm like, let's look at these.
Yeah, because when I looked it up, I seen demon. I was like, oh, is he a demon? Is he?
I'm like, no, I don't worship the devil or anything like that. But I'm like, cool demon names. So I'm like, Vassago. I'm like, you know what? It sounds kind of catchy, and like people like will be like, oh, Vassago. Like, it sounds cool. I'm like, if I think it sounds cool, maybe other people think it sounds cool. So then we took on that name. Like I said, it has no inspiration of being a demon. I just thought the name was cool.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, well, funny, because when I read it, I was like, oh, yeah, the demon.
I'm just like, nah. Like I said, we picked it up off Google, and I'm like, yeah, it's a cool name. Let's run with it. And then, like I said, we started bringing out kick and bass music, which was gaining a lot of traction. And then we had an original track called Rack and Roll. 780,000 plays on SoundCloud, and that's massive on SoundCloud for an original track. And,
shout out to that. What's it called? Rack and Roll.
It's called Rack and Roll, yeah, bro. But yeah, honestly, and it's still like I still get royalties to this day from that song. Like, it's not huge royalties, but
hey. So something you're not make your money while you sleep, brother. Can't hate on that, even if it's sense, brother.
Like that, it's getting royalties still to this day. When it was made 8 years ago, it still baffles me. Like, I didn't think it was going to blow up the way it did. It was at the time, it was like a top 100 club anthem. Like every DJ was playing at the time and stuff like that. Catchy. So yeah, it was really awesome.
That's dope, brother. That's dope. So you progress from into that scene. Now, what kind of music are we pumping out now?
So now, like, I make it like, I think the it's like real hyper techno, faster kind of music, because the demographic these days, I feel they're more interested in faster music because we were locked down for so long in like COVID lockdowns and stuff like that for 2 years.
Especially Melbourne, the most isolated city in the world. I mean, lockdown city in the world.
Yeah, you couldn't do anything. So the mentality a lot of younger people have these days is like, I want to do everything fast because if we get locked down again, I don't want to be able to miss out on an opportunity and stuff like that. So that's why faster music now resonates with people in Melbourne. Like it resonates with them more because no one likes to do anything slow anymore. They just they don't want to save or anything. They just want to basically just run at full speed for everything they do, including music.
Do you think the microwave age that we're in now too, like with the way social media is reels, all of that stuff, TikTok, how it all pops, like how it's all quick. Do you think that influences that
Yeah,
maybe
100%.
their passion for that music too?
100%, I do. Like I said, it's the demographic of, in their mentality is, what if we get locked down again and we miss out? So like I said, that's why faster music resonates with the younger crowd and with other adults and stuff like that now, because they don't know if they're going to get locked down again. And obviously TikTok all social media plays a big factor, whether you're a DJ, an influencer, whatever it is you're doing these days. Everything, you need to have social media, and you need to have some sort of personality or presence on social media. Otherwise, it doesn't really work for you anymore. Like, you can't get away with just having the best song. Now, you need to have a
It has to be
personality.
popping.
You need to have a personality. You need to resonate with the people that are viewing you, that are watching you. You need to relate to them. You know what I mean? It's not just about a song anymore. Like, as an artist who makes music, you need to resonate with the people. You need to do something that's going to resonate with people and be like, like this guy's a good bloke, kind of thing, and it makes like banger music. Like, if you look at massive people on TikTok, they all have a personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's key, eh? Like, people are buying into stories. Like, you think about anything, even if it's, whether it's, let's say, Nike, for example. If like Nike is your favorite brand, usually there's a reason or a story behind that, or maybe you grew up and your influences all wore that kind of stuff. So you're right, building characters around, or showing who you are, or maybe creating a character and showing that persona on social media, whether you're an artist or you're trying to grow a business or whatever it is. I think it's key, yeah, for sure, to
Yeah,
put that out.
100%. And like now with me, I'm starting to push a bit more content lately. And
Yeah, I
I'm
see there too, brother. Hey, little spider.
Yeah, Tobias. Like, honestly, I get more views with my dog. So I'm like,
Look at
yeah, so if he gets more views, I've got to do more content with him. And like I said, he's a good looking dog. So
yeah, the good looking dog. What's his name, brother? What's his name?
Dog. What was that? Sorry?
What's his name?
His name is Tobias.
Tobias.
So,
Where'd you get that from?
So I don't know if you ever watched The Simpsons, like the Aussie kid where they go to Australia.
I've watched Simpsons, but yeah, I'm not like a huge Simpsons guy.
Where they go to Australia because Bart calls someone from Australia, and the kid's name is Tobias.
Yeah.
That's what I named him after, because I love The Simpsons. Like, I used to love like all the old school Simpsons, 6 p.m. every night. I used to watch Simpsons growing up and stuff like that. So that's what he's like named after, and like he's the most chill dog. He's the most chill dog.
Yeah. Most chill dog. Sorry, brother. We're doing this remotely, so there's obviously a slight lag. And dope, brother. And what you're saying there is an example of like characters and stories, brother. That Tobias character from the show that you love, The Simpsons, made you name your dog after him. You know what I mean? Sort of a thing.
Yeah, I said, like, I'd say he's as chilled as the kid that was in the show. Like, that was like, all he does is sleep. He's currently sleeping right now. So
of the chicken out, bro. First, when you said the name Tobias, I was about to go and Google if it was another demon name, but no, it's not.
He's a Simpsons character, or he's from Arrested Development as well. But I got the name from the Simpsons character.
Yeah, there you go. Or anybody that's obviously watches the Simpsons, or anybody that's a fan and knows is it an episode or was it a series?
Yeah, it's an episode. It's one episode on the Simpsons. It's like on the earlier seasons, because like Simpsons went a bit downhill, but the first few seasons are mega.
Yeah. What about, speaking on the Simpsons? What do you reckon about like? They predicted a lot of shit that's happened in the world. What do you reckon? Do you reckon they?
Look, I reckon it's pre-planned. Like, sometimes, like sometimes they get it right, but also sometimes as well, like if you look at American Dad and Family Guy, for example, as well, they put like Illuminati symbols and whatnot in their stuff. And like, do they have the agenda of, are they part of the Illuminati, or is it just like is it a fact that it'd be like people will start talking about it, like Simpsons, like, Simpsons are starting to predict the future, like the magazine that had the plane on it, predicting the future with the $2 special thing, or Donald Trump becoming president, but
Yeah.
it's a really weird take on it, because like I said, it can be, you can say, oh yeah, they've predicted it, or you can be like, oh, maybe they like did all this stuff in their head, thinking it might happen, and if it's a maybe that it does happen, like it's a possible, like just say even like a 2% chance of happening. If it happens, then people can be like, oh, Simpsons predicted it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point, brother. I think the chances, like, obviously, if it happens like on the rare occasion, like it happens like once or twice, but fuck, I've seen compilations of them, like of like huge compilations of things that have happened, and I'm like, when it happens that much, is it still a coincidence? I don't know. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I've seen a few as well, so I definitely get where you're coming from, bro.
Yeah, oh yeah, but that's just my thoughts, brothers. Like it's crazy. Like, or are the same people? I don't know who, because yeah, if you get down those rabbit holes, people will be like, oh, who do you know who the main dude, or who's the main writer for Simpsons? Do you know? Or
I don't
is he still
know.
around? Or
I
whoever
don't.
he is or was, if he's still alive. And then I heard from guys like, yeah, he's a Freemason, but then I'm like, does that even like, bro? I know someone and they seem like good guys. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I know a
Yeah,
couple like just everyday
it's like a
blokes, but
religion. It's basically a
yeah.
religion.
Pretty much, brother. Well, and because we had this conversation the other day about that sort of stuff, just like religion, and then I read the word cult because TFHI is what my fam and that are on TikTok, and we used to there used to be heaps of us. Because I haven't really been on there as much lately, but I'm planning to be.
What does it stand for?
So tranquility, family, health, and inspiration.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was just going back to what you said about the whole being locked down and people not really, a lot of people sort of started hating on their own family and like all that kind of stuff started happening, a lot of separation. So we just wanted to sort of like, I don't know, create a little community and bring some love back, have
Yeah.
some laughter, have some joy. Yeah. So that's what the sort of idea was about behind it, and using social media as a vehicle to do so. And shout out to all the family. And then obviously as you
Yeah.
begin to grow and you do certain things, people label you different things. So cult was one of them that we got. But then I looked up the definition of cult, and it pretty much says that anything that has support or has like people that love it is a cult. So pretty much anything could be a cult.
Yeah, but
That's why
like being from TikTok yourself and myself being on TikTok,
Mm.
you'll see a lot of those cliques, cults, whatever you want to call them. They're everywhere you go on TikTok, and TikTok, like I said, it's a very stressful place, and people don't realize.
Yeah. Do you want to speak on that, brother? Because we had a little conversation about that. If
Yeah,
you
of
want to
course. Like
about some,
with
what's some
with
of your
TikTok,
challenges?
like with TikTok as well, like you need to realize it's hard have people watching you. They see everything you're doing, all your movements, everything like that. You can be ridiculed and judged on anything possible that you do on TikTok. Even though I'm a DJ on TikTok, and you're always gonna have one hater or something like that, or something like that. You're always gonna have somebody. There's always gonna be somebody that wants to talk about you, and that's the thing that happens when you become a person of, like, they can see you, like people are watching you, they see what you do. You're always going to be that target of interest, whether you've got two viewers, one viewer, 100 viewers. There's always going to be one person watching you. Even like, and someone just to even slip up or anything like that, it's a very stressful community, like being on TikTok sometimes, because you need to be positive, you need to show off like your vibes. You can't go on TikTok and just be like, I'm down, I'm sad. Nobody really wants to watch that. You got to be up. You got to be energetic. You know what I mean? You got to communicate, like make the viewers happy all the time and stuff like that. And sometimes it does get a bit stressful. And like, I've had to take a week or two off sometimes and stuff like that, because you need to work in your mental health. You know what I mean? Like you need a break sometimes, because it is mentally exhausting. And people, the thing I like, when I first started TikTok, I left my job. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna leave my job and pursue my dream. My dream is to DJ, go international, make music, and
Let's go, brother. I love that.
Yeah,
I
I'm
love
like,
that.
so that was my dream. So I'm like, you know what? I'll leave my job and I started doing TikTok. So I started TikTok about 10 months ago, and I'm like, oh, this is like a great place to grow, as obviously, and get fans and stuff like that. But
When you
I
say
didn't
TikTok, brother, because a lot of people will probably be like, "Oh, I started TikTok years ago," but they're just talking about posting. When you talk about TikTok, you mean going live in that, eh?
Yeah, like I'm talking about being a live streamer, like being a
Mm.
same concept as a Twitch streamer, a Kick streamer.
Yep.
But obviously 2023, when I first started, is the whole dynamic of streaming and stigma of people streaming was a whole lot different. There's a lot. It's a more oversaturated now with streamers than what it's ever been. There's always people that want to be a streamer and stuff like that. But like I said, people don't realize that it is a full-time job kind of thing as well. You need to speak to everyone. You need to be positive. You know what I mean? It is like a full-time job. And that's
Well,
what
the
people
hours
like.
here for sure, brother. If you want to be like successful in the live streaming game, for sure, it is a full time job, brother, for sure.
Yeah,
You got to put in some
100%.
hours, man. Hundred
Yeah,
percent.
you got to put in the hours, and like I said, people don't realize the hours you put in, like, or even like with me with DJing, I find new music, stuff like that, being positive, like standing on my feet for hours and hours, DJing and mixing music and stuff like that, and it is hard, and like I said, you have your days where you're not going to be at your best, and that, and like I said, a lot of people that view you, if it's their first time watching you, that's their first impression of you, and you can't have that kind of thing. You know what I mean? You have to always be positive and impressionable to viewers.
Yeah. I think I'd have a different take on that. Like I think you're right. Like I think we maybe force ourselves to try and always be as positive as possible. I think, but you talked about relatability earlier, brother. Like I think relatability is also like sometimes if you're down but you still showed up, brother, I think that's all right. You know what I mean? Obviously it's different
Yeah,
for you because you're a DJ, but like like you're a DJ, like I just sit on there and talk shit. You know what I mean? I just sit on there and talk shit, bro, and just make people laugh in there. So and then sometimes I play music, but I ain't no DJ, I just play music, you know what I mean?
yeah,
So
100%.
like I understand for you it's probably different because you're the way you've set your stuff up. Like for me, I think sometimes relatability and being not necessarily just jumping on only to be vulnerable, but like if you're having a shit day and someone asks you, I don't think it's that bad to fucking say I'm
Yeah,
having a
look,
shit day because at least you get it off your chest. But for you,
I think
different, obviously.
I think it is okay, like to obviously be vulnerable, but to an extent, like you can't show full vulnerability because my biggest issue with that is on TikTok, if you show too much vulnerability, there's gonna be just say another creators team that's gonna fucking screen record you or something like that and then use it against you kind of thing. That's the whole toxic issue I have with
Yeah,
those
yeah,
kinds
yeah,
of
yeah.
things.
No, that's fair. You know what I say, and this is what I always say. Like, even because I did a lot of Instagram lives, like sort of interviews, like years ago as well for quite a
Yeah,
while. And I was just like, as soon as you go live, you just got to realize that like it can be screen recorded. So yeah, whatever you do on
yeah,
there, if you do get into those vulnerable situations, I just try not to look at it, bruv. Like, because I've
yeah,
met, you probably have some, and I've had plenty of videos of again people, because I, like, for a couple of years there, I, like, pretty much was doing my children and doing TikTok at the same time, just like, helping, raise them and they're like,
yeah,
sun up to sundown and TikToking. So if I stayed up till like 4 in the morning and then I got to get up at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock, just because I stayed up there late didn't mean I could didn't mean I could fucking just sleep in, bro. So then like
yeah,
sometimes I would have bags on my eyes because you're trying to do these push for rankings or whatever it is, these little things that you set these little goals you set yourself and you try to chase. Because of that stuff, like people would make videos putting tea bags under their eyes, like mocking me and shit like that. And like I realized like when I would watch it, it would piss me off. But if I didn't see it, if people talked about it, I didn't care because like I didn't see it. But so I just told all my fam, just don't show me. And then until I grew like I think like because I needed grow maybe a bit more thicker skin to be like
yeah.
fuck it, then no, I don't even let it. I don't even care, man. Like all of this shit that we're doing here, like this podcast, like this could be clipped up and flipped multiple different ways, but I'm good with it, man. Like for me.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, I'm happy. Like I said, it's my first time doing a podcast, and I thank you for having me and stuff like that. And you're one of the, like I said, you meet a lot of different creators on TikTok, and you start like working out who are the ones that are actually like genuine kind of people, and they're the ones you want to keep battling and stuff like that. And then you work out like the other people that are just in it like to tear you down, or that no, they don't want to say other people be kind of successful or anything like that as well. And with me personally, I stay away from them as much as I can. And I
Yeah,
stick
yeah. That's a good.
with
That's a good idea, my brother. Because that's what I had to learn too, brother. Was to stay away from, and a lot of it was my own people. Like I'm a Maori. I'm proud Maori, but also proud Anzac, brother. This country's done awesome for not just
yeah,
myself, but a lot of my people. So grateful to Australia as well. But and I'll probably be here till I'm old, brother. I love this place. But it's nice, beautiful weather and stuff. But a lot of the time, it was bloody my own people. Maori's fucking, and that, which sucks because I'm proud Māori, but it sucks that they're fucking like if I look at it this way, brother. If you see a Māori winning, because there's not many Māoris in comparison to other nationalities or ethnicities in the world. We're very
Yeah.
minute, like we're like fucking dots in the whole, in the whole ocean of everyone. But I think it's cool. I think I see a Māori winning, that's just me. We're winning. Even humans winning, just in general. Like I always, but yeah, it sucks when they try to tear you down. But I used to obviously feed it too, because I used to fucking, react to it and stuff. The moment I stopped doing that and I stopped watching all the stuff, but I felt better, brother. I know it can be hard because it's human nature. If someone's talking shit about you, or a lot of people are, to want to be like, fuck you and stand up for yourself. I think like you're just trying to protect your own self, But anyway, who cares, man? People are gonna say whatever. People are gonna turn this video into whatever, but we know what like our intentions are. We know what our intentions are. Sweet ass. But what were you gonna say? Sorry, brother.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Like I said, I think with it, like I said, you when you first start TikTok, like so, I knew nothing about TikTok. I knew nothing about live stream when I first started. So, like so at the start, it's like very hit and miss. Like it's very like lots of stepping stones, hiccups, and learning because it's brand new for me. Like so, I'd never done any type of streaming or anything like that.
Oh, that was the first. So tell us about your first live.
Yeah, so my first live was shocking. So I didn't. So when you need like when I DJ, I've got something called an iRig, which I plug into my phone.
Yeah.
Which is like so you get the audio quality sounds perfect. But before that, I had no idea what that was, and I jumped on and I DJ'd, and then just the sound was horrible. Like and that was like for like a couple of weeks. And like I said, I was very like I'm not shy, but I am a bit shy in a way. Like I'm like an introverted extrovert kind of person.
Yeah, that's crazy. So like what your passion is to do something that's extroverted, like in front of crowds and all of that. But are you really an introvert? Really?
Yeah. So like funny fact. So when I DJ, like I'll be like pumping up, like I'll be like moving my hands, dancing and stuff like that. But just say like someone smiles at me or something in the crowd, I'll give them like I know you like when you work past your coworker, like walk past your coworker, and you give them like the the little smile. That's like what I do, and then I just look straight back at the decks, and then the decks.
Nah, but that's your art, brother. That's your craft. That's where you're at home, obviously, with the decks and that.
Yeah, and like I said, it's something that I'm not cocky or anything like that, but something I know I'm actually really good at. So
brother, be cocky, all good, brother. You're good at it. You put in the hours, bro. You know what it is like. Because I don't know if this is how you felt in that little moment, but I feel like a lot of people when they say, "Oh, I'm not being cocky," it's like they're trying to how people say be humble, but a lot of time people say be humble just so you shut up because they don't like you to shine. You know what I mean? Like you put in the hours, brother. There's nothing wrong with saying I'm fucking awesome at fucking DJ.
Yeah,
live it, brother. That's you. You did that. You put in those hours, brother. Fucking oof.
But yeah, like when I first started streaming, like I was really nervous, like in my head, I got real anxious. I was like, oh, these people are watching me, that everyone's judging me.
100.
And like I said, because I left my job and I started doing this as a job, like main job, streaming, like I wanted to do streaming and making music full time. It was like I said, I had to put my all into it kind of thing. And I've had hiccups, like I said, you have teams on TikTok come and go. But like I said, there's always going to be at least one person that'll talk about you if you're successful. There's always going to be at least one hater there. You're never going to be successful and have no haters. It's just not possible.
100%, brother. And especially in this age, like with social media and that, the haters they can hide behind fake profiles and all of that kind of stuff. So
yeah, exactly right.
But they're just fans, really. If you think about the time and effort that they put into to trying to tear you down, they're just really fans.
100%. And like I said, it's beating the stigma. Like I said, it's just a hard way to, like I said, when I first started, it's hard to explain. Like I said, it was a very slow process of me slowly gaining like confidence. Like I used to be stutter on the mic and welcome, be like, oh, welcome in, user. But now they're
now you're all good.
And then now obviously because I've been doing it for 10 months, it's like, oh, welcome in, welcome in, how are you?
Oh yeah, that's crazy, brother. It's crazy that you say that because I'm doing a sports podcast as well, like where we stream. Like I'm a big NRL fan, so Warriors my favorite team always. Or more favorite, like the All Blacks in New Zealand are like gods, brother. But like I love the Warriors more than the All Blacks. But and a brother of mine that is like one of my homies. I always knew he'd be good at doing it. Like he's a good character. He's very witty, very quick witted. fast on, thinking in that and fast with the mouth. But I got him into it last week. Shout out to my brother Stu, and he's just started, and it's preseason at the moment. So the plan is to stream every Warriors game for the year. And I said I see that in him too, brother, that he's sort of like nervous and that because he's never done it before, like streamed at all. Like he's not a DJ or anything, like so he's just I guess you'd say everyday bloke just feeding his family, working out there, bro. So for him too, I can I'm sure if he watches this, he'll be like, fuck, I can relate, bro.
Yeah, like you can like 100% you can resonate with it. And like I said, I'm like an introverted extrovert. Like I said, like even when like if I go clubbing or anything like that, I won't even talk to anyone unless they come up and start talking to me. Like I'll be super nice if they come up to me, but I won't go up to like a random person and start talking anything like that. I'll stick to myself kind of thing. And like I said, with TikTok, I think as well once you get used to it, because I think the biggest factor of it is you're talking to yourself. You're talking into the camera. You're not. There's no one physically there. That was my
it's weird, eh? It's weird when you think about it, eh? Like, and you gotta have. That's what people don't get. You know how you were talking about that people don't realize that it's draining and that like people don't realize. Like I said to my brother, the same guy I'm talking about, Stu, that like you'll probably experience when you get off the stream an energy dump because you've like even though you're just sitting there talking. It's different, brother. It's way different than just like, So, and he talked about it to me yesterday. He said, "Yeah, fuck. When I got off, I felt tired." I was like, "Yeah, 100%, brother."
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, it's mentally exhausting. It's a very mentally exhausting job. Like it is a job. Like trust me, and like anyone, 100%. anyone that's a streamer, like a full-time streamer and stuff like that, will know how exhausting it can be. But like I said, like that was my biggest thing at the start. Like talking to a screen, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm like, I'm talking to myself, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, this is so weird. I go, how do people like, and you know what, like I found it weird, like when people were gifting me, I'm like, why would you gift me for kind of thing as well? Like,
yeah, like an imposter syndrome sort of even, brother.
Yeah, like what, like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, this person's like actually gifting me, like that's kind of cool. And then like, when you get your first kind of big gifts and stuff like that, you get a massive dopamine hit. Like massive, and then down, like I said, you have downfalls, and then you're chasing that dopamine hit of this person sent me like these gifts and stuff like that, and it's like you're trying to chase that dopamine hit again as well, which can also mentally exhaust you because you're chasing, and then if you're not getting those same gifts from those same people, your head starts going, what am I doing wrong? What have I done that's changed?
Interesting, brother. Interesting. That's a good little insight on how you feel, brother. Do you think what would you say? Do you have any advice for anybody that like goes that they're experiencing that sort of stuff, or streamers in general? We can go to, but right there, that specific thing you talked about, like I guess it's expectation, right? Like people's expectations.
There's expectation, like it's streaming. It's not stability. Every week is going to be different. That's what I learned and realized. Like I said, there was like times I was making like good money, and then you like the weeks no one shows up kind of thing, and like you need to realize that when you do stream. And like I said, it's not going to come straight away. It's not an overnight process. It's a growing process. You need to build your community, and have that community there to fall back on and like talk to you even when you're down and stuff like that kind of thing. And like I said, I think people like they'll say like, oh, look at these big creators. They're smashing it. I'm going to be like that straight away. But it's not an overnight process. It's a very long, tedious process of growing and building yourself, and like obviously building your community around you as well.
Yeah, that's right, brother. And like you said, like those creators, whether you like the style that they put out there, like the ones that are consistent and all of that. They put in work, man. Like and in the background, so off the app, on the app, it's
100%.
It takes a bit of fucking time, man, and a lot of energy for sure. But if you had it, so what would be your favorite thing about it though? Like we're talking about a lot of the sort of
favorite
downfalls
thing. Favorite thing, like I'd say, is the diversity of people you actually meet. Like even though if you don't meet them face to face, it's the diversity of meeting people. Even like it's such like when I first started streaming, I had such a cool feeling in my head that, oh wow, I've got someone watching me from Germany. Oh wow, I've got someone watching me from Bulgaria. It's the reach that you have that's around the world. Like it's not just limited to Australia. You could have someone come from any other country and come watch you, and that's like it's super cool for doing that, and I've got to have great experience where TikTok's put me on their actual page to DJ for them, and I got to go to the TikTok Awards last year, which was a super cool experience, and meet people in person and stuff like that, and develop actual friendships in person.
Yeah. How did you enjoy that? How was the whole experience, brother? Like, if you could
Look,
give us it in a quick nutshell.
so when I went to the creator camp, it was really awesome. Like, I learned a lot of insights and like how to grow and stuff like that. And you actually learned a fair bit if you paid attention to it. It was more like how to utilize the marketplace, how to do ads, those kinds of things as well. The best thing to do before you go live, stuff like that. But the TikTok Awards, like I said, like it was surreal that people, like in my head, that some people actually watching me. And then it was an even more surreal experience when TikTok said, "Hey, like we're actually enjoying your content, and like we want you to come to the to the TikTok Awards and actually watch." Like I said, it's an awesome experience. You kind of like, you're not a celebrity, but you still like feel like in your head like, oh, that's like, you're like that. You're like a reality TV show kind of person. Yeah, like, that's what it feels like, and it's like a cool kind of rush.
I think it's just new too, brother. The whole thing is new, like, and in time, TikTokers and that will be the celebrities. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well,
it's just a new thing,
Yes, like some already are and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, that's true.
But
100.
yeah, like for me, not someone with 11.6 thousand followers on TikTok, which isn't a whole lot, getting invited there, like it was such a surreal experience. Like, and it was fun, cool. And like I said, you get to meet all these like people that are famous on the app, kind of thing. Like, it was a real cool experience, and yeah.
Who was your favorite? Who was the favorite person of all the people you got to meet? Is there a favorite that you
I
like?
I wouldn't say I had a favorite, but like I said, I met a lot of creators, and like I said, I became a lot of friends with a lot of Sydney creators, and we all went out for like shisha,
Yeah, the shisha.
and chill. And like the thing I was thinking most when I was at those shisha fest, I'm like, wow, I'm like in Melbourne, everything is so much cheaper than Sydney. Like Sydney has
true.
like,
Really?
I'm like, Sydney is like double the price of everything. I thought Melbourne was a bit expensive. You go to Sydney, everything's like double the price there.
Crazy, yeah. Wow, that's interesting, brother. DJing, who's your, like, obviously you said Nate's the guy that got you into it. Who's someone that you, if you could, like, I don't know, like fucking, I don't know how it goes. Do you guys like tour with other DJs? Like, can that happen, or
Yeah, like you tour with other, like you can tour with other DJs and stuff like that. But in terms of Australian success stories, like I'd look up to Dom Dollar, who's literally massive, made a song with Nelly Furtado now, or like Restricted, probably one of the biggest Australian DJs now. He grew from TikToks, you know what I mean, making.
Oh, okay. So that would be the avenue then, because you're TikToking and all that.
And he started off just making like trolling his grandparents. Like he just made like trolling his grandparents videos, and he built following that, and then he started doing content like with music, and he just blew straight up. He's got a song in Need for Speed, the movie now, like, which is massive. So if it was someone
Don Dollar, sorry brother, I'm trash at all this with the
so the person who like got like big like success story from TikTok, I'd say is Restricted.
Restricted, okay.
Yeah, there's another one. His name's Cyril. Like he's going massive now. Got a song signed to Spinning Records, just from posting his remixes on TikTok with him with like a drinking from a chalice. You know what I mean?
Oh, true. Yeah. Have you got you got a few ideas around that space? Because like you said, you started making content. You're gonna try and
making content, and like I said, I feel like the content that I make is like I'm still DJing and I'm gonna promote my music, but I think making my content with my dog, I feel more relatable doing content with my dog, and like I rewatch it back and I'm like, oh, this is actually funny. Like
oh, that's cool.
I got the spider idea that you saw. That I got that spider idea because I used to have heaps of people from America and UK come in. They're like, "Oh, I've never come to Australia because there's such big spiders." I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are you guys on about? I go, I've seen like a few big spiders in my whole 28 years of living, but nothing like major. Like, there's big spiders everywhere, and that's why I ordered Tobias that spider costume for $7 on Temu, and I'm like,
the Temu.
I'm like, I ordered it for $7 on Temu. I'm like, nah, this will be a funny video, and like people found it pretty funny. Even like I did like videos on my dog DJing on the DJ decks as well.
Yeah. See, I think touching on what you said about people from overseas, I think everybody thinks that like if when you say you're in Australia, I think they don't realize like you have like proper cities in there. Eh? Like I think
Yeah,
they think everyone lives in the outback or something. Eh?
yeah,
With
yeah. They
with
just like
crocodiles
they
and
just
big snakes and
yeah.
spiders and all that stuff. I think
Yeah,
they're
like I used to get to like, oh, I'd never be able to come just because I wouldn't be able to handle the spiders, and I'm just like, I'm looking and I'm like, what fucking spiders? Like, where
do,
are they?
yeah, I remember. Do you know Hobson? You into rap at all? You know Ilmana Hobson, like
Oh, yeah,
Hobson
yeah,
the
I know your
rapper.
mind off then. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
so Hobson, I remember Hobson when he first came to Australia. He did an interview back in the day, and he said the same thing. He said, "Oh, I didn't realize they have cities here in Australia." That was like, I thought I was coming straight to like a zoo.
Yeah,
Like that's the perception, eh?
it's the perception because of like how American TV shows usually perceive it, and like
Yeah,
they think like everyone like talks like, oh, how you going, mate? Like they
yeah,
think,
Crocodile Dundee too, eh?
yeah,
Like that
like
movie
yippee
probably,
yabba.
yeah, Crocodile
Yeah,
Dundee as well. That movie
yeah,
would have
like
put it up there.
yeah, like I said, they just because what they've seen, it's a perception in their mind, and that like, and then they get the reality, they think like that, and then they actually come like, oh, hold on a
Yeah,
second, it's actually not too
yes,
bad here.
yeah, hard. Hey, bruv, so okay, so maybe not. Or is there any DJs that you would like to maybe, do a show with, or can you do shows with other DJs? I don't know how it works.
Yeah,
Nah.
like usually when like you get booked and stuff, you'll be under like other DJs like booking.
Yes.
I said I'd love to DJ
Who's the
on
biggest one you'd do like the DJ under then?
like I said, those Australian DJs restricted
Yeah.
Dom Dollar, but like
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
my favorite like DJ from like a different like overseas would be Cosmic Gate.
Yep.
I've seen him live 4 times and always amazing.
Okay.
Camel Fat as well. Camel Fat's really really good live that I've
Yep.
seen. Like I said,
Oh, I thought you mean you ate camel fat. Okay. Yeah. Let's go.
nah, it's a song. Sorry, it's not a song. Sorry, it's an actual decade away.
Okay. Let's go. Yeah.
But yeah, like my goal this year, like by the end of the year,
Yeah.
I want to play one international show. My goal last year was to play interstate. I did that right at the end of the year. I got booked for an Adelaide show.
Adelaide. Yeah, that's right. I seen that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got booked for
How
an
was
Adelaide.
that?
It was alright. Like it wasn't
Oh,
massive,
no.
but yeah, but the fact that I got to go over interstate for doing something I love, that was the great thing about it.
Yeah, that they wanted you to, eh? Like they obviously wanted
Yeah,
you to come in and
yeah.
do it. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
they asked me. Yeah, so and then like I said, the goal this year is to like I said grow on live streaming. Like
Yeah.
that was one of my main goals, and like DJ internationally and get like one of my songs signed to a big big record label. Those are my 3 big goals of this year. And like I said to myself last year was like my warm up year, my testing the waters, seeing what goes right, what's
Yeah.
not going right, and then this is my all right, push into gear. This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna achieve this year. Kind of mind.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So, okay, you said your DJs you'd like to DJ under and
Yeah.
your goals. Is there any artist that you would like to maybe produce a song for? You'd like to collab with, like
Look,
musical?
I don't really know. Like, I reached out to an artist named Ceres. She made like it's got 40 million streams in like 4 months for her
Mhm.
voice, and it was a song called "Let's Get Fucked Up," and it blew up because of TikTok. And like I said, when I saw that, like I asked to use her vocals, and like she said, yeah, but it was like 700 US dollars just for her voice, and like it's really not that much if you think about it. But I'm still like justifying, should I get her voice? Should I do I want to invest that much into her voice? But then again, I need to think of it as like every time if I'm buying something for myself for DJ or anything like that, it's reinvesting into a business, because at the end
Yeah,
of the day,
100%.
it's your business. Like that's why even with my streaming, I bought the backdrop here. I've got a neon light for Thunderbolt for my team logo. I've got lights like to make it look more flashy, to make people more enticed to come watch you. Like instead of having just a plain boring background, you've got
like
other
me.
stuff.
Yeah.
You've got all the stuff to entice more people to come and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's it, brother. Hey, but we can't hate, bro. I got top 1 with a background like this. Not this one specifically, but yeah. No, but no, I understand it, brother, 100%. Like I thought I'd upgrade and do a few things, but get even a few just banners, even, bro. Just check up like real life ones. But yeah, for sure, do that thing, bro.
Temu, mate. Temu, you can't go wrong with
Oh,
Temu.
Temu! Let's go to Temu! Oh, bah, shut up. Bro, I thought there was like fucking someone in Hollywood made that. I thought it was one of those big studios there. Yeah, I thought there was Warner Brothers.
I think it was $16 or something.
Yeah. Oh, let's go, my mate. Yeah, the Temu. There you go, guys. before we get out of here, brother, do you support any? Are you into sports at all? Like a fan or
Honestly,
any?
I'm big on the UFC and boxing, but so
Oh,
I
let's
don't know
go.
if you watched the UFC yesterday, but Volkanovski got sent to the Shadow
Yeah,
Realm,
yeah,
and I
I
was
seen it,
just
bro.
like, I can't,
Tapoya!
yeah, like it was a heavy punch, but like, and I said as well, I'm like, since he got like kicked, his chin's like Islam knocked him out, his chin's never gonna be the same again, and it showed in the fight. Like
And it wasn't that long ago either, brother. Like when Islam got him, it was like sometimes people take a little bit longer off too, as well as the chin being a
he should have.
bit softer.
Honestly, I think it's because even like I said, mental health stigma, even with fighters and stuff like that, they don't realize it's stressful. It's hard. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears goes into working out in that gym and training. You got to be alone a lot of the time. It's a disciplined sport. You can't do too much. So when you're not fighting, I think his biggest issue as well would be like, what's my purpose if I can't fight? And that's why he fought so early, to feel like he had a purpose. And obviously, I feel like he took the fight too early, and because of that, just to fulfill his purpose, it cost him a loss. And sometimes in life, you're always you will have wins in life, but you need to lose to obviously grow as well. If you don't lose at least once in life, you're not going to grow and learn to grow bigger.
Oh, 100%, brother. Failure, every failure is just the one step closer to your next success, brother. 100,
100%.
Like 100. Meet anyone that's successful or talk to anybody that's successful in any realm and any discipline. They'll all tell you, like, how many failures it took, or at least, be able to say it's taken heaps of failures for me to be here. And there's
Yeah,
I don't even look at failures as failures. I think just as lessons, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's
100%.
just, you take the learnings and move forward.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
I feel like.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, what'd you say?
I said I feel like that as well. Like you learn from your failures. Failures. Even every person you meet in life, there's a purpose. You've met that person, whether you meet them
Oh,
online or in person for brief seconds. You meet that person for there's a specific reason you've met that person. Whether it's to grow, whether it's to learn a lesson, whether it's for them to burn you, whatever it is. There's always a purpose in meeting each person you come across with in life.
yeah. Oh, let's go. Are you are you a bit of a spiritual man or something? Let's
I'm
go. I
not.
like
I'm
that.
not. Look, I'm not spiritual, but like, look, I think everything kind of happens for reasons. Like I said, like you go downhill on paths sometimes, and you learn from that lesson. Like I said, you meet different people. Like I said, for new expectations. Like I said, and you can either learn the lesson you've learned from that person, or you can just repeat the same process,
Mm.
and not grow anywhere. But like I said, it's all. I'm not like so. I'm not spiritual at all. Like I'm not
Yeah,
a
yeah.
spiritual person. It's just
But that's your thought, maybe. That's
yeah.
just
I like
your
I said,
thought process.
I think I believe every person that you've met and is put in front of you is put there for a possible. There's a reason behind it.
Yeah, let's go, brother. Thank you for that, brother. That's a beautiful little. So, top 5 UFC fighters of all time, in your opinion, or MMA fighters, or boxers.
I
Combine them if you want. Put them all
like
in.
you've got John Jones, the goat at the moment.
Yeah, John
I still
Jones,
say Volkanovski is still he's probably the greatest Australian fighter.
for
Um,
sure.
you've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
you've got Conor
Yeah,
McGregor.
Rob be up there too, but definitely Volk, I'd say.
Yeah, you've got Conor McGregor not because of like of what he is now. It's his story and where
First
he came
double
from.
champ.
Yeah, that and it's his story. If you watch his story and where he came from, what he started with, it's actually a really great inspiration to like even like I've watched his documentaries and
Yes.
it's not what he is. It's not perceived of what he is now. It's his rise up and what like and everything he did to get there and the hard work that he put in to get there. You've got George St. Pierre, one of the best, and then
Yeah.
Anderson Silva, and then
Yeah.
my favorite fighter growing up was Lyoto Machida because like
Oh, yeah. The Dragon.
yeah, and like he was my favorite fighter because when I was like 14, I used to do karate. Like I did karate for like
Oh,
a year.
yeah. Karate man. Let's
I
go.
got a red belt, and I'm like, oh, cool. Lyoto Machida does karate as well. So, like growing up,
Let's
I'm
go.
like, so, I was really a big, massive fan of his.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like I said, combat sports, I love them personally. Like so, I did amateur boxing. I fought last December. I'm supposed to fight again in May, which I've slowly started getting back into training for. And it's just amateur, but it's not about like the boxing. Say like when you mental health wise, if anyone is like struggling and stuff like that, I think boxing. Like I was in a very low point when I started boxing, and it saved me from that dark place that I was in. And like any type of combat sports, it really can save you from those dark places. And people don't really realize the amount of like happiness you can actually get from doing a combat sport like that.
Yeah, interesting, brother. Thank you so much for sharing all that.
That's
And
okay.
just to touch on Connor's story, yeah, you're right, but I think the real goat in his story, besides him and his laser focus and just belief in what he wanted
Yeah,
to do, and like like I think that's the personification of manifestation. If you think about it,
yeah,
like he literally set those goals. He wanted to be that UFC champion, broke and nothing. And another goat inside of his story, I think, is his wife, bro. My
yeah,
D, she fucking
100%.
held him down, bro. Shout out to
Yeah,
them. Shout out to
yes,
her, man, and shout out to
yeah,
Connor.
that's just supported her.
And
Yeah, like
who knows,
supported him
maybe the
from
dragon
day one.
might come. What's that?
I said she literally supported him from day one when he was on welfare, believed in him, and now look at it now, like they're traveling the world on a Lamborghini yacht. So
Yeah, but like fucking the hours and like you said, brother, all the alone time and imagine the mental stuff he would have barriers he would have had to push through to people see the yacht in there, but they don't think about all the work it took to get there. It's like that story of Picasso, Picasso the painter.
yeah,
Uh, and he's walking through a marketplace, and the lady sees him and says, "Hey, Picasso, can you draw a portrait of me?" And he says, "Sure,"
yeah,
blah 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 blah. You know, it's like a couple
yeah,
minutes, not even a minute. Boom, gives it to her, and he says, "This will be $10,000 for." And she says,
yeah,
"What the hell? $10,000? You did that in 1 minute?" He's like, "Yeah, but it's taken me 40 years to be able to do that for you in 1 minute." So
yeah,
people don't
100%.
think about their time. I've
Yeah,
even thought about that on TikTok, bro. I battled the South African guy, and it's not because he's South African. He just was South African, but I was away from the screen, and I was like changing my baby's diaper nappy, and obviously someone gifted me like something large and I wasn't there. Like, and when I came back to the screen, I obviously thanked them and that. And then the guy's like, "Oh, I wish I could just not be at the screen and like I get a like big gift." But he didn't realize like that person um that had like sent that to me, which they didn't have to, but like they were gonna kill themselves before they came into my live,
yeah,
like a year before, and um because they came into my live and vibed with us and enjoyed the music. That's the reason, like, and then I always checked in on them. That's the reason that they did that. You know what I mean? Like they see the
100%.
end result, but don't think about what all the work they went into it, or not even work, just the time and effort we put into our people. So,
Yeah,
I just
like
want to thank you, my brother, fucking
nah,
for
that's
this,
all,
bro. It's
bro.
fucking
Thank you
cool,
for
bro.
having me. I appreciate it.
Nah, cool. Before you go, do you got any cool stories for us? Like a DJ story, or maybe a funny one, or maybe a crazy one that's happened in your
Like I can
nightclub experiences?
tell you, I won't name the TikToker, but
Yeah, no, 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 no,
so
no, no
when
names.
so when I was DJing at Love Machine, there was a TikToker there, and he hid behind the DJ booth to hide from somebody, and he pulled out the plug out of the power. He kicked it
Yeah.
out by accident. And the whole music stopped for the whole venue, and I was just like, "Fuck you!"
Oh,
I'm
oh,
like,
true.
I'm like, are you kidding? Like I was like looking at him like, are you taking the fucking piss or what, man? I'm just like looking, and so yeah, there's that one. Cool stories. Like when I was younger, DJing those underages, I got to meet Jay Sean, which is pretty
Oh,
cool.
true. The
Yeah, I
singer.
got to meet Jay Sean,
Yeah.
and like when I used to DJ like a lot of club gigs when I was younger as well, I used to always hang out with Geordie Shore people.
Oh,
That were
true.
pretty, yeah, that were pretty wild. Like I did schoolies in the Gold Coast with Marty from Geordie Shore, which was pretty cool, and it was pretty funny because literally you'd be standing next to him and you'd be invisible and you'd like see all these girls just coming up to him trying to get with him, and you'd just literally just sit there like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah, that's pretty cool, my
but yeah.
bro. No, awesome. Oh, bro, where do people find you if they like want to look for you?
Yeah, so like on my spot, I've got Spotify, so same as my DJ name, Vassago. SoundCloud is Vassago as well. Insta is the same, and like I said, and TikTok is the same as well. And I'd like
Okay,
to
just right there, just type that in and there you go. Oh, that other way.
yeah,
Sorry.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Then you'll be able to find me.
Awesome, brother. Well, I just want to thank you for your time, brother. And hey, if people enjoy this and this goes off a little bit, and people want to learn more, would you be willing to come back, maybe?
Yeah, 100%, bro. I'm always anytime you want me to come back, I'm more than happy to come back. It was a good chat for you today.
Nah, don't, bro. And I also didn't know the UFC part about you, but the fact that you enjoy that, maybe when there's some big fights, if you're free and I'm streaming and you want to come jump on, brother, like we could even stream the fight or something, and
Yeah, done,
talk some
bro.
shit and play
Yeah,
some music or something. All right,
yeah,
then, my
100%.
brother.
I'll be down for that.
Nah, awesome, my man. Well, thank you so much, brother, for your time. Like, time is the most precious commodity we have as human beings, brother. Thank you for sharing your time with me and anybody that listens to this, you know, for years to come. I hope. Big love, my brother, and I'll catch you soon on TikTok. Birthday this week, though, eh? Birthday push. Friday's the birthday. Anybody that's watching this, any of my family, if you got 2 cents, go send it to the brother. He's a good bloke. You know, he might be able to get some more Temu stuff.
Thank you so much for watching this full episode of Mind the Mic. It takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to create these episodes. So to know that you've watched and listened to the entire thing means the world to myself and all our hosts. If you could, before you leave, please hit the subscribe button and share this episode out to as many people as possible. It would help us so much. Thank you again to everybody that's still here, still watching. Thank you for all your comments, all your shares, all the DMs. Appreciate you all. Make sure you follow us on every platform. Have an awesome morning. Have an awesome night, depending on where you are in the world. Mind the mic out.
Oi, have you hit the link in bio yet?
Watch full episodes on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all streaming platforms.